Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about instinct versus intuition. I'm pretty big on intuition, intuitive insight, intuitive thinking, fast and divine intuitive thinking. But as of late, I've really latched on to instinct. And I believe it's because the two go hand in hand. And there are seasons for everything in life, of course. And when it comes to taking action, I think that there are seasons to take action based off intuition, and there are seasons to take action based off instinct. I think to the root of all living creatures, there's instinct when it comes to taking action, right? It's not so much a feeling, but a knowing, right? Instinctively, we pull our finger away from a hot stove when it's burning our finger. That's just instinct. That's not intuition. I feel like instinct comes from our physical vessels, right? We just feel, or rather, we just know it to be true of doing this or doing that, when intuition is more of that divine thinking. When we intuitively feel like we have to go down that path or we have to pursue this dream. And in today's episode, we're just going to briefly have a bit of a stream of consciousness on when to take action based on intuition and when to take action based off instinct. Firstly, intuition, because that's how I've made a decent amount of my decisions in the entirety of my life. It's always going to be on intuition, right? I intuitively feel like I have to go travel to this place, or I intuitively feel like I have to go to this gym, or I have to do this work today, or I have to move into this apartment, et cetera, whatever it might be. That intuitive thinking, that intuitive decision making comes from the divine, right? And it's fast. Snap your fingers, get it done. Intuitive thinking. And when to use your intuition is where you see yourself in 3 to 5 years, for example, right? Physically, you might want to be in this location, you might want to be in that location, you might want to be in this job or that job. It's all about remembering the birth vision. Remember this. And intuition is, well, what am I supposed to bring to this earth? What am I supposed to do with my life, right? And that divine fast thinking comes from that knowing and understanding of, well, what ideas do I want to bring to life, right? The Napoleon Hill quote, most ideas are stillborn and they need the breath of life injected into them through plans of immediate and definite action. That's intuitive thinking. That is intuitive decision making. That is intuitive action. Now let's talk about instinct. I really feel like instinct, like I said, is that knowing, but it's that primal knowing that's rooted within our genes, within our DNA, right? Instincts is all about, well, how fast can we think and make a decision here and now, right? Ideas, that's divine, that comes from source, and that's more so intuition. Instinct is, well, if I want to thrive, where does my physical vessel have to be? What does my physical vessel have to go through? What trauma does my physical vessel have to endure in order for me to evolve to the next step, right? In order for my soul to learn something new, right? The two go hand in hand, but instinct's all about the here and now, right? Intuition is like a long form. Intuition is a seeing into the future of the type of person you want to become and embodying that person now. Instinct is just physically doing something or physically changing location here and now, right? In my current reality, instinct is telling me that while I love being home, there's that old energy, and instincts are telling me that it's time for me to move on, right? because I can, and because it's time for me to evolve. It's time for me to truly kill the boy and become the man and develop that edge and go make a name for myself. Instinct is telling me that I want to and I will prove to myself that I am who I say I am. And instinct, with that knowing, is telling me you got to move on. You got to go travel, or you got to go live in a new location. And instinct is telling me go back to Philadelphia, right? 45 minutes out from Philadelphia, a place that you've been for the past 4 years, but there's still more work to be done there. And that's not really, it could be, but I don't really feel that to be intuition. I think that's instinct going hand in hand with intuition, telling me to move on there, at least for the time being, right? And intuition is telling me that there's more to this lifeline than just Philadelphia. There's more to this lifeline than the things that I'm doing right now in regards to content creation and marketing. My soul, my physical vessel, is going to endure and partake in a lot more than what I'm currently doing here and now. But my instincts are telling me that I'm at a pivotal point in my life where I have to go move on and go live elsewhere, right? And this all just comes from doing the inner work. And for you, tap into your intuition, right? Your intuition is goes hand in hand with what you're most passionate about, right? What excites you? What do you love? What brings you joy? That intuitive thinking leads you to this coffee shop or that coffee shop. Instinct is helping you survive. Intuition is helping you thrive. Your instincts are helping you survive. Your intuition is helping you thrive. That's kind of a banger. I'm not going to lie. That just came to me. Instincts help you survive. Intuition helps you thrive, right? So if you can instinctively move on to one point in your life and intuitively tap into a different part of your being through your passions, right? What excites you, what you love, what brings you joy, you're going to be in a very good position, right? Now, there's going to be a roadblock when it comes to instincts and intuition, and this is what I'll end on, and that's going to be fear. That's going to be the middle gap between Michelangelo's Adam and God. With that point, that middle is going to be fear. It's going to be your limiting beliefs, and that's why instincts and your intuition comes in beautiful for this specific example, because that is how you actually overcome those limiting beliefs and that fear, that capital F fear that, keeps you in a box, in a box, in a box, right? The only box that you have to free yourself from is your mind. And how to do that, to put it quite simply, is to follow your intuition, which is what excites you, and listen to the instinct that's telling you to do this here and now, right? Because if it's just an idea, it's in your mind and it doesn't exist. But if you instinctively decide, okay, this is where I'm going to be for the next 30 days, or this is what I'm going to do for the next 30 days, have that day one mentality to go out and make a name for myself, you have to go ahead and do that. Because if you don't, there's something that's holding you back, and that's a limiting belief. And change happens in an instant. That's how you overcome it, is just by listening to that intuition and listening to your instinct of telling you to go do this or go do that, or pursue what excites you, pursue that passion, right? Instinctively, if you feel like you have to go move your body and go on a walk, go for it. Intuitively, if you feel like you have to have that conversation with that person or go to that coffee shop, go ahead and do that. The two work hand in hand at all times. Instinct helps you survive. Intuition helps you thrive, right? And it's your choice to listen to both of those and ultimately overcome your fear that is limiting beliefs. I affirmed that this episode resonated with you. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and look forward to more content from me. I love you dearly. Thank you for listening.